Yo guys, welcome back. Last episode was insane. Hashirama literally got his entire chakra network deleted by Vegeta. And now, his ruthless brother Tobirama just pulled up to the scene. Things are about to get incredibly violent. Let's go.
The First Hokage is barely a shadow of himself right now. He's dragging his completely broken body across the jagged dirt, running purely on fumes. Every single step looks agonizing. His chakra network is totally fried, leaving him with absolutely nothing but raw, bleeding human endurance. Meanwhile, the Saiyan Prince strolls ahead like he owns the entire dimension. He doesn't even glance back at his struggling new pupil. The heavy metallic clank of his boots echoes through the dead canyon. It's a brutal reminder of the absolute monster Hashirama chose to follow. They are totally isolated in this barren wasteland. No trees, no life. Just endless jagged rocks waiting to become collateral damage. Suddenly, the ground starts shaking violently. A deep, unnatural rumble completely shatters the dead silence of the dry canyon. Massive cracks explode across the dry earth. A colossal surge of high-pressure water violently erupts straight out of solid rock. The raging water rapidly twists and morphs, taking the terrifying shape of a giant, predatory sea dragon right in the middle of the desert. The water dragon violently crashes down directly in their path, completely severing the canyon trail with a roaring wall of crushing liquid. Hashirama violently flinches, throwing his battered arms up to shield his face from the intense slicing spray of the high-speed water. Vegeta doesn't even blink. He just stops walking, looking at the massive water jutsu, like it's a completely annoying puddle in his way. The water settles into a churning, aggressive barrier. The contrast between the violent blue waves and the dry, dead rocks is absolutely insane. A pair of shinobi sandals touches down silently on the high cliff edge. The hunter has finally tracked down his prey. Standing tall against the harsh sunlight is Tobirama Senju. He radiates pure, calculating ninja logic, looking down at the absolute mess below. His red eyes narrow with cold, razor-sharp precision. He's instantly scanning the battlefield, completely assessing the threat levels of both targets. As a master sensory ninja, Tobirama immediately realizes the terrifying truth. He cannot sense a single drop of chakra coming from his older brother. Hashirama slowly looks up at the cliff, his tattered clothes soaked. The shame of being seen like this is totally crushing him.
Look at you, brother. You're an absolute disgrace. You let some stranger strip away your entire ninja pride.
Hashirama just grits his teeth, his fists shaking uncontrollably. He can't even weave a basic hand sign to defend his own honor right now. Vegeta slowly turns his head upward. His face shows absolute zero respect for the dramatic family reunion happening right in front of him. Defying all laws of physics, the Saiyan's boots simply lift off the rocky ground. He casually floats up into the sky to get a better view. He hovers effortlessly above the chaotic water barrier. His glowing white boots create a subtle anti-gravity ripple in the damp air around him. Looking down his nose at both Senju brothers, Vegeta's expression shifts from mild annoyance to complete, unfiltered disgust.
Is this your family trash, kid? Because I really don't have the patience for a pathetic reunion today.
Hashirama stares up at his ruthless master, his broken body totally freezing under the crushing weight of Vegeta's absolute lethal disappointment. Tobirama aggressively grips his weapon, deeply insulted by the stranger's pure arrogance. He's ready to execute a lethal strike at any given millisecond. Vegeta just crosses his arms defensively, radiating a suffocating aura of superiority that completely dwarfs the impressive water dragon below.
Clean up this garbage yourself, brat. Or I swear, I'll vaporize both of you into microscopic dust right now.
A new, primal fire suddenly ignites in Hashirama's hollow eyes. He clenches his bloody fists, realizing he has to fight his own blood with zero chakra. The stage is totally set. 3 deadly warriors locked in a hyper-tense standoff. The ninja world is about to witness a completely brutal awakening. Tobirama probes his brother's body with expert sensory skill, only to find the chakra network he relied on his whole life has been absolutely dismantled.
No way. It's like his entire life force was just ripped out. What in the hell did that stranger do to you, brother?
He doesn't waste time on questions. Tobirama unleashes a massive torrent of water, turning the dry canyon into a watery death trap. A high-velocity water bullet slices through the air, aimed directly at Hashirama. The younger Senju isn't holding back a single ounce of power. Hashirama's instinct kicks in, but it's sloppy. Without chakra to sharpen his reflexes, he's barely dodging by the skin of his teeth. Tobirama moves like a predator, dancing across the water. Hashirama, meanwhile, is slipping and sliding like a total amateur.
Look at you, stumbling around like some common thug. Is this really the best you've got after all those years of training?
He pushes off the mud, his hands raw and bleeding. He doesn't have jutsu, but he refuses to just lay there and die. A second barrage of water bullets tears through the air, aimed to trap him. Tobirama is systematically dismantling his defense. Inch by inch, a direct hit to the shoulder. He slams into the rock, the air knocked out of his lungs. He's taking heavy damage, and he's totally defenseless. Tobirama closes the gap, his sword drawn. He's walking like a judge, and it looks like his brother's time is finally running out. He stares at the sharp tip of the blade. His chakra is gone. His vision is failing, and the end feels painfully close.
You were the legend of our clan, brother. Now look at you, just a broken, pathetic waste of space. It's time to end this farce.
He's not surrendering. His eyes suddenly ignite with a savage, hidden fire. Even on his knees, he's still preparing a final, desperate move. Hashirama lashes out, his move totally unrefined, but packing enough raw physical power to knock the blade clean out of the way. Tobirama's eyes widen. He didn't expect that kind of brute strength from a man who's supposed to be completely broken. He lunges like a cornered animal. There is no ninja technique here, just raw, physical force slamming into the fight. Tobirama frantically tries to weave seals for a defense, but he's already inside the guard. The distance is completely gone. The water shield shatters. Hashirama's fist connects with brutal efficiency, driving deep into his brother's armor with devastating force. He's sent flying back like a doll, smashing deep into the canyon wall. The sheer power of that hit is enough to shatter rock. Tobirama slides down the wall, gasping for air. He looks totally lost. The tactical ninja can't process how his brother just overpowered him. Hashirama stalks toward him, his aura pulsing with a cold, terrifying intensity. The brotherly love is long gone. This is now a hunt.
Don't you dare look at me like that, brother! You're nothing but a traitor to our family's ninja code!
The look on his face is stone cold. The peaceful leader is gone. He's now a man focused on one singular, brutal objective. The earth cracks under his feet. He's not summoning chakra. He's igniting his own raw life energy into a blinding pillar of light. Even the master of water is frozen in pure terror. He's never seen energy like this. It's not magic. It's pure, terrifying destruction. His fist is a literal bomb of raw life energy. The surrounding rock is actually carving deep grooves from the intense, surging pressure. He blitzes across the distance faster than any shinobi could follow. The ground behind him just explodes into dust from the insane speed. The armor shatters like cheap glass. He hits with the force of a wrecking ball, sending his brother flying deep into the stone wall. Tobirama is crumpled in the crater, totally defeated. His gear is shredded, his sword is shattered, and he can barely even lift his head.
The age of hand signs and chakra-dependent games is over, Tobirama. Adapt, or get crushed by the new reality.
He turns his back, walking toward a horizon that doesn't belong to the ninja world anymore. The era of the shinobi is officially dead.
Man, did you see that? Hashirama just straight up ended the era of ninjas in like 10 seconds. You guys gotta drop a comment on who wins if Tobirama gets back up.
Water clones swarm the canyon like a living tide, tearing apart any hope he had left. Every strike is precision. Every blow is meant to break him down. A crushing blow to the ribs knocks the wind right out of him. He's taking heavy damage, but the clones just keep coming.
Just stay down. This pathetic struggle only makes your defeat way more embarrassing.
He's down in the mud, gasping for air. The clones circle him like sharks in a feeding frenzy, relentless and totally cold. Every kick takes away another piece of his spirit. He's reaching his absolute breaking point. But the pain is starting to get blurry. The water blade tears through his skin. Yet he doesn't even flinch. He's going into a trance. A total blackout from the physical trauma. He tries to reach for a weapon, but the clone shuts him down. He's completely cornered, stripped of every option to fight back. His hand is pinned, buried in the filth. Most men would have given up hours ago, but his fingers keep twitching. With that same stubborn rage, another massive blast slams him into the wall. The pressure is so intense, it's almost crushing the air out of the canyon. He's pinned. The panic is finally dying out, replaced by a cold, hollow silence. He's accepting the brutality of this lesson. Look at his eyes. The fear is gone. He's done being the victim. He's shifting into the mind of a warrior. He drops his guard. It's an insane move, but he's standing still, listening to the very air around him. The clones hesitate. Even his jutsu can sense that the target has suddenly become something entirely different.
Stop playing dead and face me! You think that pathetic calm is going to save you now?
5 clones, 5 lethal blades. They're closing the distance in a synchronized strike, designed to end the fight right here. He sees the gaps. He's not fighting the water anymore. He's fighting the rhythm of the clones themselves. He's entered the zone. No more panic, no more regret, only cold, tactical execution left in his veins. He's dissecting them. A series of precise strikes hits every clone, distorting their form and breaking their coordination. Vegeta watches from above. He's finally seeing the cold, ruthless training starting to pay off. The clones are done. He's finished the dance, and now his full attention is locked on the one man left standing. He glides across the slick rocks, closing the distance. The battle is shifting from a defense to a full-blown assault. Tobirama draws his second blade, desperate and shaking. He knows the danger he's in, and his pride is starting to crack under the pressure. His arm shakes. He's trying to hold the line. But Hashirama is coming for him with the force of a tidal wave. They collide. The force of the impact shakes the very walls of the canyon, leaving nothing but dust and ringing silence in the aftermath. They bounce back, both battered, both breathing hard. Neither one is ready to back down, and the canyon is turning into a graveyard. It all comes down to this: one last strike, one last chance to end the struggle once and for all. The blade shatters. It couldn't hold up to the pressure. The force of his fist is simply too much for steel to handle. The fight ends in a single second. Hashirama stops, his fist inches from his brother's heart. It's over. He lowers his fist, not needing a word to prove his point. The era of the shinobi is broken, and his brother is finally seeing the truth. He watches his brother leave, the weight of the loss sinking into his bones. He knows now the old ways are dead, and everything is about to change. He goes for the throat. The water blade is razor sharp, aimed perfectly for the one spot Hashirama can't see coming. He shuts his eyes. He's abandoning his sight, trusting his gut to feel the deadly intent vibrating in the air. The silence is deafening. He isn't worried about the blade. He's listening to the rhythm of the killer's heart. There it is, the kill switch. He sees the burning red intent of his brother's spirit, acting like a beacon in the dark.
You think closing your eyes is gonna save you? That's just giving me an easier target, you idiot.
He smiles. He knows exactly where the strike is coming, and he's ready to make his brother regret that movement. The aura explodes. It's not chakra. It's a blinding white sun erupting from his core, turning the water blade into harmless steam. Tobirama's mind is scrambling. His jutsu just got erased like it was never there. He's looking at his brother, but he's seeing a monster. He's standing in the center of the storm. That's not a ninja anymore. That's a force of nature, and he's just getting started.
How is this possible? Your chakra should be gone! What kind of forbidden technique is this?
He doesn't even move. A single flick of his finger obliterates the weapon. The ninja tools have become completely useless. Junk? He's completely exposed now. The master strategist is out of moves, and the reality of his defeat is hitting him like a wall. He stalks forward. No jutsu, no trickery, just the cold, relentless advance of a man who's already won the fight.
You were always the smart one, Tobirama. So tell me, how do you plan to win against something you can't even touch?
He doesn't even need to land the punch. The shockwave of the strike alone sends his brother crashing into the dirt. It's over. He's broken. The genius strategist has no answer for this. He's just lying in the dirt, staring at his brother's new, terrifying power. The dust begins to settle. The battle is finished, and the hierarchy of power in this world just shifted forever. He looks to the horizon. This was just the start. He has a lot more evolution to do before he's truly ready. He walks away, leaving the old world behind. The ninja era is done. The era of the warrior has finally begun. He watches him go, the realization finally setting in. His brother isn't the man he once knew anymore. The split is permanent. 2 paths, 2 worlds, and a canyon of history between them that will never be bridged again. He stands at the edge of the world, ready for what comes next. The lesson was brutal, but the result is absolute. The sun rises over the ruin. The world is changing, and everything is waiting to see what he'll do next. He's not broken yet. His pride is battered, but his resolve is sharpening. This is far from over. He walks into the forest, disappearing into the mist. A new legend is born here, and the ninja world is completely unprepared. The shadow of the future looms large. He's walking toward destiny, and he's not looking for mercy anymore. He's found his path, and he's going to carve it out of stone with his own 2 hands. The forest slowly heals, but the power shift is permanent. The world of ninja is about to face a force they can't understand. A new era rises with the sun, one where the old rules are broken, and only the strongest ones truly survive. The legend begins here. The world is about to change forever.
Whoa, my heart is still pounding. If you guys are ready to see Hashirama turn the whole Uchiba clan into dust next time, smash that like button and subscribe. Stay hyped for the next episode.